there's a feeling that it's a little bit too little, too late. They feel that it is a step in the right direction to have that officer be arrested, but the three other officers who were involved in the death of George Floyd, two of which were actually pinning him down along with the one who was arrested, they have so far not been arrested, not been charged, and that's something that has angered a lot of protesters. But here in Minneapolis, it's basically the same thing that we've seen over the past few days. Protests that were largely peaceful throughout the day, with protesters, thousands of them, marching through the streets peacefully with some chants asking for justice. And as the night fell again, there were some clashes, some looting, some burning of buildings, and that's despite a citywide curfew being implemented by the mayor of Minneapolis, which started at 8 p.m. local time and is set to go on until 6 a.m. But that said, you still had thousands of people on the streets near some of the police precincts around the area where that precinct yesterday was set on fire. And the police and the National Guard were actually not really nearby, not intervening, not getting people off the street. They did around 8 p.m. start telling people to get out and go home because they were going against the law, against that citywide curfew, but people stayed on, and so far the forces have not necessarily intervened directly. There are a couple of helicopters flying over the city monitoring the situation, but otherwise we're seeing protest, and we're seeing similar scenes that we saw throughout the past few days. And as you mentioned, this is a scene that we're seeing across the United States, because this is no longer contained to Minneapolis. It has spread to New York, to Los Angeles, to Chicago, to Louisville, Kentucky, and this is something that feels like it is a new chapter in the death of George Floyd, something that has really engulfed the whole country, with protesters of all colors, because this is not simply a black protest. Here in Minneapolis and in other cities, you're really seeing whites, blacks, Latinos all marching together, asking for justice and asking simply for something to change here in the United States.